The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Wake up, Cowboys Nation. Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign here in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge and Aisha Morrison. What up?
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are y'all doing?
Wonderful.
Tater.
I don't know.
Dry.
Wake
We just missed
up!
the rain.
She said, what?
Just
My
missed the
God.
rain.
Just missed the rain?
Yeah.
Did it
Supposed to
really
be
rain
an ugly
last
day. I don't know because I slept through it if it did, but it looks very gloomy. and
It's
doomy
about
outside.
to storm.
I don't know if
So-
it's like a sign because I feel like it's been gloomy the only times that like there's been bad days here. Y'all feel
It did
y'all-
match the energy from the game, I will say, the next
You know?
morning, Monday morning.
Even when
Huh?
Even when-
What'd you
sorry.
say?
even when Mike
was-
was
was-
traded, it was like a cloud.
we need
of just
a
death.
code word for it.
Sorry,
I know we're gonna be saying the name a lot
Yes.
this week.
we can't help it.
Yeah.
Is there?
We're supposed to talk actually later
Yeah.
today. See what's interested to see what
Yeah.
the name we don't speak of says about this matchup.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to speak of his name because he's the storyline.
kind of an important
this
week.
week.
Who?
You know.
Wait, what did Schottenheimer say?
I think his name is.
He said he played for Green Bay.
Petty.
fine.
I hope those, when those bites, the viral bites come back.
Screaming.
I hope that one doesn't come back to haunt us. Who?
I don't think he was trying to be funny. I think he was trying to say like he was being sarcastic. Like, oh,
Yeah. Well, someone says
Surprise.
The Zeke who that yeah. There's just a lot of things you could say around this time that might not. Yeah.
It's all right. All right. Well,
I'm screaming.
the name that we shall not speak of, well, we're going to speak of it today, Micah Parsons and Green Bay. The Green Bay Packers come to town. And right now, as of now, I'll say, the Packers own AT&T Stadium. They're 6-0 all-time with 3 regular season wins, 2 postseason wins. We all remember that 2023 playoff loss to, the Packers. But just talking about overall big picture, we're going to get to that matchup in just a second. Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner and GM, he did say that he feels after the game against the Bears that this team is still a playoff team. And ladies, I just want to ask you, as of right now, do you feel like this team is a playoff team heading into week 4?
Gone, Bree.
I just not gone. I thought that was a wild question to ask after week 3. I was sitting in the circle. I was like, what? But it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It started a conversation, a real conversation. It's crazy because the Cowboys 1-2 now, right? Mm-hmm. But guys, so are the Ravens. So are the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Why does it feel different here being 1-2?
We know why it feels different.
And that's kind of my answer to your question at this point. I think we need to focus on being 1-0 every week, just like the players say. And I think the competition obviously is going to get only harder. We talk about how hard it is to win in November, December, because everyone's stuff gets better. It's supposed to be. Of course, you don't know what injuries look like on either side there, but this is the time where you got to stack up wins when other teams are also trying to figure out what they have, and other teams also have a ton of injuries, but the Cowboys have to figure it out. So that's my answer. Ravens, Chiefs, they're also 1-2, but this one feels a little different. That's all I got for the playoff question.
Yeah, definitely a odd time to be talking about it, but I think you make a great point, Bree, is that this is the time of the year where one thing that Mike McCarthy used to say, and it's one of the few things that I liked taken from him was the fact that he talked about trying to get wins in September because of the point that Bree just made, is that there's teams that are trying to get their feet under them. There's offenses and defenses trying to figure out things. There's injuries that happen as well, and so I don't really know what Dallas is right now. I know that they are a football team that has a lot to figure out, and I agree with Bree. I'm not about to be talking about no playoffs. I'm not about to be talking about nothing that's 14 weeks away or anything like that.
Woo!
I love it. All right, well, let's get into this matchup. Green Bay comes with Micah Parsons, and we faced a Green Bay Packers team, but it did not have Micah Parsons. Probably it's fine. one of the best
Sorry, I
pass
had to
rushers.
just do it once.
In the NFL, it's fine. But from your perspective, I know we're sticking with Cowboys defense. Green Bay Packers defense. Cowboys offense today. Talking about Green Bay, they come with Micah Parsons. From your perspective, how does his presence kind of alter this entire feel of this matchup?
Your tackles. Mm-hmm. Your tackles have been struggling. And we know this is a gentleman that, can move across the defensive line. I think he's kind of stabilized that front seven for them, because when you look at their back end, it's not outside of Xavier McKinney, and there's no one there that you're just like, oh, this is a, stellar player. I think that front seven and Edrin Cooper and those guys and that's really where their defense starts, is that defensive line. And adding Micah obviously allows you to allows guys to get more one-on-one opportunities, because people are going to double team him. People are going to chip him. We saw even 3 defenders on him last week. So that's something that his presence, as we know from his time here, alters the way that your defense feels, because you can be so much more multiple and creative in doing so.
I mean, to me, even before you get to how much he strengthens that defense, there's a reason why they paid all that money that Cowboys weren't willing to, if you will, because they felt like they were in a position to be a Super Bowl team, and they just needed that one person, and that person happens to be Micah Parsons. You've seen the impact he's able to make right away. He did have his own mistakes, but that I don't even know. I was rewatching the game against the Bears, and that's the most well-rounded loss I saw a team do together, between the penalties, the special teams, and then the defense played great for 57 minutes, and then collapsed. So it was a great effort there. But I'm looking at just the storyline, the energy, because the Browns. Sorry, the Browns.
It's all good.
I'm getting my mascots mixed up around here. But the Browns just defeated Green Bay, which nobody had on their bingo cards. I know everybody's parlay was messed on that, but that just shows you any given Sunday, anything can happen. So I'm trying to take the energy from that, guys, and bring it to positivity, because the Cowboys also just got very much embarrassed. You have Micah Parsons coming to town. Like today we're going to hear from probably some defensive guys. Tomorrow we'll hear from Dak and CD. You know what the first question is going to be. The storyline speaks for itself. So Micah Parsons, before you even talk about what he does on the field, just what he's doing to mentally, like, I know the questions are going to Schottenheimer, and they're probably going to downplay, just like they did when Matt Eberflus returned to Chicago. But that is the storyline. Like, it's hard to miss that piece. And I know Jerry was asked briefly. I think some of the writers caught him coming off the elevator about doing some type of like video thank you to Micah Parsons, and he kind of played that down. Micah sees that, right? Like, I don't know what the right answer would have been to it. I don't disagree or agree with Jerry's response, but this is all just this is what unfortunately what it is with the Cowboys sometimes.
Well, you got two people that like to talk.
Love to talk.
You got two people who
Micah's expected to talk later today. I'm sure Jerry will have some interviews to come. That's what I'm just like, can you block out the noise?
No, this is going to be a week of a lot of, headlines and talking and conversation back and forth. And that's what happens when major players get traded to other teams. And there's a lot of conversation. Obviously, this was a very controversial trade. So at this point, I expect a lot of the extra stuff going on. I think it's going to be important for the Cowboys to lock in Green Bay and that loss that they had last week. There was a lot of disappointment in that loss. They had 10 days to prepare. They felt like they were the better team against Cleveland. And to Bree's point, they played well for 3 quarters, and in that fourth quarter, they allowed 10 points unanswered by the Cleveland Browns. Special teams didn't help them out. I agree with Bree is that it was a lot of, like, all facets of that team really are the reason why they had that loss. So they are in a place, ladies, where they're in the same place as the Cowboys. Now one thing that I do hate is the fact that everything that Cleveland gave them trouble with, the Cowboys don't give nobody trouble with. So, and that's in reference to the defensive line pressures and things like that. Like, in the man coverage on the outside, I mean, Cleveland's secondary can go toe-to-toe with almost anybody. Dallas doesn't have that right now. So it is kind of like, what can you take? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What can you take from what Cleveland did and try to replicate it? It's going to be hard.
Yeah, I want to actually, I know I said Cowboys offense. I want to talk Cowboys defense because, you talk about the collapse that happened with the Packers. Well, the Cowboys defense has certainly been collapsing the last couple of weeks, and questions. They've been searching for answers for their big questions, the secondary, the defensive line. And what the Browns were able to do a little bit is get the Packers doing some things that they didn't necessarily do the first couple of weeks, kind of relying on the shorter passes, the slants, and screens like that. And their defensive line, you had like the defensive line from the Browns literally shooting through gaps. Yeah, I was watching my film last night.
Yeah.
But no,
you're right.
that's something that's kind of stood out to me. In what ways, I mean, Aisha, you kind of hit it on the nail. What ways can the Cowboys replicate that? Because you can't get pressure with the outside right now. You're struggling to now get pressure from the interior because now guys are double teaming Osa and Kenny Clark. Where do you get pressure in order to relieve your back end?
Well, it also is just contingent on there's some injuries on that Packers offensive line. And at this point, y'all, I really hate talking about it because we say this every week about some, weak points. The Cleveland Browns were able to take advantage of the weak points on that Packers offensive line. Obviously, Zach Tom has been dealing with, he's been on and off the field, and they tried to let him go, let him play this past week. However, I think he came out earlier in that game. Then also, too, Aaron Banks, their left guard, was dealing with some things. I think he was replaced by Jordan Morgan. If I'm not mistaken, they had about 5 or 6 different offensive line combinations last week in Walker, Banks, Jenkins, Ryan, Tom, and then they switching over. Morgan playing right tackle, Morgan playing left tackle. Like they had 5 different lineups because that's how much pressure Cleveland's defensive line was putting on them. And to Nicole's point, I thought you made a fantastic point. The Packers are heavily reliant on play action. Jordan Love leads he doesn't lead the NFL. He is one of the highest in the NFL, next to Jared Goff in play action at 84%. And they did not do that last week. They did not push the ball down the field the way that they wanted to. And so that's what terrifies me, y'all, is the fact that they are trying to get back to what they do well, and that is pushing the ball downfield, and that is really getting your defense to bite on play actions and attacking you downfield. I think Matthew Golden is somebody that comes to mind. And that's something Dallas has struggled with, ladies.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. If you look at the tape, just like you mentioned a little bit earlier, Aisha, it's like, okay, what did the Browns do? I want to call them the Bears so bad.
I know.
The Bears got us. That's not what happened. The bees.
I don't know.
But you look at the tape and you're like, okay, what did the Browns do successfully to, make the upset, basically? And they stacked the box, and they had guys making Jordan Love uncomfortable. He likes to chunk the ball downfield, and he wasn't able to do that. He didn't have time, first of all. They sacked him 5 times. The penalties were costly. They had them both on. A lot of them came from the O-line, but they had them on defense as well. But 14 total penalties for 75 yards. And then one thing to keep in mind, this is a team, I know it's preached here about discipline and what have you, but last week Packers had 10 penalties. So they're in that double penalty mark now 2 weeks in a row. So I think that's somewhere, to take advantage of as well. But at the end of the day, this team typically can run the ball decently. They had trouble doing that. Their run game goes through one guy, Josh Jacobs, and that's pretty much it. And he takes the bulk of it, and they couldn't really get him in the end zone. I think they broke his, 11-game touchdown streak. That's what the Browns did.
That defense ain't no joke.
I know they got their issues, but I mean the Browns are a defensive team, but so are the Packers. Like the Packers are a defensive team, and they looked like one of the better teams in the league week 1 and 2, and they fell flat. Like I said, it wasn't really in all phases of the ball, but they went away from what they are comfortable with. Like Aisha said, the play action wasn't there. And Jordan Love, I know he's taken a lot of criticism, and I think mostly because he's in his 6th year. He's coming after Aaron Rodgers, who's, arguably going Hall of Fame type of quarterback. And Jordan Love to me, he's a decent quarterback. He was in the MVP conversation for this year for a lot of people for a certain reason. I don't think he's living up to the hype. But even when he threw that ball away, the interception, which if you watch it, I don't know what he was seeing because all I saw were Brown defenders. However, he got the ball. When they got the ball back, he was able to give them opportunity, and then they missed the field goal. So I'm not looking at it like it was all Jordan Love. But, yeah, there's just, like you said, where are the Cowboys going to step it up? Because I don't know how they scheme. Yeah. They're gonna scheme for the pressure that we keep hearing about. I don't know.
Yeah, there was inefficiency in some of Jordan. Wait,
no, you're good.
Go. There was inefficiency in some of how Jordan Love played and some of the decisions he made. Bree, you brought up the penalties. They were huge for them. 14 penalties for 75 yards. Some of those came in key moments. Special teams bit the Packers in the butt as well. It sounds familiar. I do think that the biggest issue for me is and listening to Packers folks is that they, not saying they weren't timid, but Myles Garrett is really that type of player. Mm-hmm. And it felt like they really game planned around how to not allow Myles Garrett to beat them, and that in turn kind of hurt them. And again, they dominated time of possession. 10 of 18 on third down. It was definitely a hard loss for the Packers to take. So I fully expect them to be.
It felt conservative.
Motivated.
The offense felt conservative.
It was very much so. And the Cleveland defense will do that to you, though. They will do that to you. And so that's the crappy part about it, like I said, ladies, is that I'm trying to figure out how Dallas is able to at all replicate anything that the Browns were able to do, or is this just a situation? One thing that I will say that the Browns did is that they ran the ball fairly well with Quinshon Judkins. Judkins rather. I think they averaged 5.1 yards a carry for 96 yards on 19 attempts. Doesn't maybe sound super flash or whatever, but it helped with their efficiency offensively, because even though Green Bay did well on third down, and even though they did well on third down, the Browns were able to put together drives, like we talked about, put together some plays in the latter part of that game, and also to win that game. So to me, I think running the ball did pay dividends for the Browns in this game. So I'm looking for Dallas to, and we talked about it yesterday, to maybe lean on the run game more. Try to play keep away. Try to keep that that Jordan Love offense off of the field, because they will attack down the field. They attack the middle of the field. The Dallas defense has struggled against that. I don't know, y'all. I'm stressed out. Yeah. And I'm not even deep into film.
No, you're good. And they're what they're doing is, like you're saying, playing keep away. They're having some long drives. You look at one of their drives, 13 plays, 48 yards, 12 plays, 40 yards, 14 plays, 76 yards. The Packers are able to put together drives. Now, if they are able to execute against the Cowboys, I don't want to see it, but it looks like they will. But when you're talking about Myles Garrett, there was this video I saw. Did y'all see the viral video of their tackle saying, "Jordan, run"?
No. Oh,
it's fine.
Y'all, please.
We have it right here. I don't know if we can zoom in, but this is literally. If not, we're gonna have to play it because it's only right. He literally says, "Jordan, run."
I beat him on the cleanest inside last series. Jordan, run!
That's what he was making.
I'm crying.
He's sick. He's sick. On that note, we're going to take our first break here on Girls Talk Boys Talk. Presented by Invisalign. We'll be right back.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Are you a Cowboys super fan? The search is on for the 2025 Fan of the Year presented by Captain Morgan. Now through September 29th, nominate extraordinary NFL fans, dynamic duos, and game changers who rep the Cowboys with pride and turn every game day into an unforgettable adventure. You could be sent to Super Bowl 60. Enter to win at NFL.com/Fan of the Year today. You're going to need all the spirit at AT&T Stadium.
Wake up!
All of it.
Have mercy.
Are you
Wake
sad?
up!
The game's making you sad?
No, well, it should. Listen,
Should.
as a Green Bay, yeah, I mean, I know we being calm about it, but my God, I'm so, like, Green Bay literally is one of those teams that always has had the Cowboys number. It doesn't matter how good they are. It's just every single time. There's chaos. There's disappointment. There's sadness. There's tears. There's some of the best memes on Twitter are from Green Bay games.
Stay tuned.
And Dallas fans hurting. And I'm tired of this team. I'm tired of them.
Can we just imagine a world where the Cowboys get the upset?
I mean, that would be big lit.
Oh my God! It's gonna feel like they won the Super Bowl in that locker room.
Yeah, I mean,
Because it was a lot of excitement for the Giants.
Yeah.
Bree, please.
Just saying.
This game matters too. It matters.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure it's gonna matter to people on this roster, and it's gonna matter to people on that roster. So let's not act like this isn't real. We ain't gotta talk about it. We not. But I just don't think it's realistic to be like it's just another football game.
Oh, that's the thing I'll say. It's gonna
BS. Don't lie. Don't lie. This is not another football game. Like, this man is at the peak of his prime, and he gets traded randomly to this team that was already good.
Yeah.
My God. Like, let's not act like this is, like, a normal situation, and they're coming for you. Why do you think he's saying, it's going to hurt me?
It's painful.
It's going to be so painful to sack Dak Prescott. Y'all, it's because he knows what's going to happen. He knows it's going to He planning for it. He literally planning for it. He's like, hey, I'm going to be in physical pain after this, but I have to do it. Like, so, come on.
Man, yeah. It's going to be, man, that O-line has some work to do. That's all I'm saying. But
It's not just him either. It's Rashawn Gary. It's Van Ness, who is extremely underrated, and they keep them on the field for third downs. They have packages that they throw at people, and it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with from an offensive line standpoint, and I don't know, y'all. I think Tyler Guyton is showing improve, but what's going on? What's going to happen with the right tackle this week? No, Bree. Look at Bree.
And right guard.
And right guard.
Yeah.
And right guard, to your point. Yeah,
They
I mean,
haven't
that's
confirmed who it will be. We assume that it will be TJ Bass, but you don't necessarily know what they'll do with that position. And I don't know. Them tackle positions ain't looked that great. So it's really a question about left tackle and right tackle for real.
I will say that if you look at Green Bay, like, again, I'm not, like, I was making the point of Jordan Love earlier because I'm not worried about Jordan Love, not from a defensive standpoint, but I'm not worried about him. He takes care of the football, like in general.
For the
Like
most
this
part,
is a little
yeah.
bit uncharacteristic, and I think the issue with Green Bay is that even though he takes care of the football, talking about interceptions, his interceptions come at the worst times, the biggest moments.
That's
so
what
it's like,
people say.
so
It's
do you
interesting.
want like they are turning on him, but I think also it's a little unfair because he gets compared to Aaron Rodgers in his prime. So there's that. But like you mentioned, Aisha, the offensive line, like they got some continuity issues. Like you're talking about Zach Tom going in there. He played one snap and then came out.
Yeah.
So
Shouldn't have played him.
I don't feel like it should have been that ugly because if your guy comes in there and it seemed like it was an injury that was kind of like re-aggravated, it seems like you would have a backup plan because you know that he's kind of, pushing himself or whatever. But I saw Packers fans tearing up Mr. Jordan Morgan, who went in for him, like
Yes.
real bad. And the thing about him is he seems like he's standing on business that he wanted to play left tackle. They moved him in for left guard, and then he goes in this game and plays right tackle. That's 3 different positions for a second-year guy. That's asking a lot. So if he's in there at all, wherever they want to put him this time, I think that's who you go after. Like, he was giving up a lot to this team. He looked flustered, and even Matt LaFleur after the game was talking about he felt like they were putting too much on his plate. So I wonder what that means, where they put him. Because like you said, also left guard Aaron Banks came out with that groin injury, so you don't know what that looks like. So they got some continuity issues on there. But if you just kind of listen to what some of the content creators from Green Bay are talking about, they ain't worried about Cowboys defensive line. Like they're already looking at the next.
So and that's the problem to me.
Yeah.
That's what's hurting me.
Yeah.
Is you can't exploit, like you haven't shown that you can exploit these weak points. And if you're going to, you're gonna have to blitz Eberflus. Like you just gonna have to.
He did a little bit more. We say we gave him a little bit credit.
Barely.
Out of 3 Hayes.
I'm
I think
legally
the
blind.
issue is that we came into the Bears game thinking, okay, Caleb Williams was sacked 6 times. Caleb Williams hasn't played his best football, and yet
But he did against us.
had his higher career passer rating, had never had a game where he wasn't sacked, and we gave them that. So at that point, what do you need to see from this defense? Because even Trayvon Diggs struggling as well, allowing 17.4 yards per target in coverage. That's the second most in the NFL, and also the most in his career, and hasn't forced a tight window throw at all this season. What do you need to see from this?
Don't cry. Don't cry.
I mean, it's funny
Like-
and it's not because it's like you're not even in the vicinity. You finish your question. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No. It's a real question. Like we've said this before. At what point do you say, okay, we've got to try some new things? Okay, we need to try some new personnel because Stephen Jones was asked, is it personnel, is it scheme? He said that it's just a lack of execution. Where do you feel like they need to make the biggest changes?
Well, to answer your question, they didn't do it now.
Should have done it again.
You need to do it now because you also need to maintain morale in your locker room. It's not just about, all the other hoopla. It is also about your players go in here and watch this film and they see those dudes that sitting on the bench, see your safety struggling. Those dudes sitting on the bench, see your linebackers struggling. Like, I just think it's pivotal right now that it's for you to maintain this team believing in you. Obviously, Shadi, we do have a belief in him. I know I do, as far as being able to kind of rally a locker room. This is the time. And in order to do that, you are going to have to sit some people down, and you're going to have to give other people opportunities. It just is what it is. So for me, in the safety position, maybe you see more Wanye Thomas. Maybe you see Marquise Bell. Again, I'm never believing training camp again because I was under the impression that Marquise Bell would be important. You might need Marquise Bell this game. I think Tucker Kraft is playing like one of the best tight ends in the game. And the way that they attack the field with him, even though he is a little banged up right now, is something that's essential to them. As a matter of fact, he's the one that put them in field goal range, if I'm not mistaken, or put them in position to score late in the half last week. So you need somebody who can defend him, and if not, like your linebackers have struggled in coverage. So put a safety on them. Do some nickel stuff. I know that ain't your thing. We understand. But there has to be some adoption of some of these other philosophies so your team can see some success. We should see Clowney this week. Somebody gonna have to sit down.
What if we don't?
I feel like that's highly unlikely.
You can't.
Enough is enough.
I've had it.
Enough is enough.
I've had it.
What if they say, all right, we're not playing Jadeveon Clowney? What you gonna do?
Then you don't want to win.
Pass out.
You can't tell me you want.
I feel like everything you said, Aisha, is on point because when we were talking about Schottenheimer getting hired, and people were like, we had this conversation in the very beginning. Before week one, like, what do you need to see from Schottenheimer to feel like he was the right guy for this job? And the first thing I said was, I have to wait and see because I want to see what Schottenheimer does if this team happened to go 0-3. If this team is in the middle of the season.
You did talk about that.
And this is kind of like the moment because it's like I said, it's not as bad as it could be. Like they got the win of the team they should have been. It was very chaotic, whatever. You got the win. You know what it feels like to be in the win column early. Great. Okay, Green Bay is coming in. If the win doesn't happen, so what does your game plan look like now? Like, how do you keep the morale of this team up? Are you the guy who can go into and have a conversation with Matt Eberflus and see what the rest of the world is seeing in some of these holes? Like, hey, I know this is your guy. I know we're heavy in zone. We got guys who are more comfortable in man. Maybe it's time to try. We got Trayvon, who's coming off an injury, who's more comfortable in man. We got Kyer Elam, who we're counting as a starter, who's not doing great, and he's more comfortable in man from college, and that's why he didn't look great in Buffalo. That's the reason. I'm just saying, like, there's a couple things like that. But I'm just saying, like, at that point, like, I wonder how that relationship is because Schottenheimer always talks about the respect and why he brought Eberflus in here in the first place. Well, Eberflus seems a little old school to me. He's been in this game for a while. He's highly respected, you know, as a defensive coordinator or what have you. Maybe not in this particular moment. They ran him a little bit on social media. There's a lot of jokes coming for Eberflus this week. But I wonder at how much, like, Shotty can go in and at this point and, like, hey, we need to do this. Like, it's not necessarily me asking. Like, I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would hope as as the head coach, he has that.
But I wonder, like, week 3, do I really want to come into your room and tell you how to do your job?
It's that bad, though.
But it's
that bad, though. It would be different if it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But you are literally giving up.
Hit him with the stats, sis.
Yeah.
415. You have given up 415 deep passing yards in 3 weeks. I don't care about how your system at this point. It clearly, they're watching the same tape we are, and if there is a justification, if you're still just like, well, we're gonna run it, then you don't want to win games because it's about the guys on the field. And if the guys on the field are struggling, like I said, it's one thing if one person is failing a test. If everybody's failing, you need to go look at your syllabus, big dog.
That's fact.
And I think the one thing about Green Bay that scares me a little bit, I feel like when you were facing the Giants, you knew who you had to shut down. Like, we're talking about Malik Neighbors, like, right away, right? When you're talking about Chicago, you kind of knew the 1-2 punch there in the receiving room because DJ Moore wasn't hot yet, right? We were talking about Dunze. I feel like Green Bay, and we talked about this before we even played them. Like, when I look at their stats for receiver-wise, when they're tight end, like you talk about Kraft obviously in there as well, they kind of have a mix on who gets the top targets. Like they got
Warriors back in the day.
They kind of got they kind of got like a core of guys that you can kind of hit at any moment. So if you're looking for that one guy who's going to go for the deep ball, they got a couple of them.
Yeah.
You got a guy who can kind of go hit his routes, go on the inside, the slant. They got a couple of them. So I think that's the hardest part. That's going to be the challenge when we're talking about a secondary whose communication has been an issue and they're looking around. Linebackers who are struggling. They don't have, in my eyes, I'm like, who is their wide receiver one? Like,
that's because they have multiple guys that can take on the load every single week. They've had a different lead receivers or lead pass catcher through the first 3 weeks of the season. I want to dive into this matchup a little bit more, the weapons that they do have up next. And Girls Talk, Boys Talk. We're going to take our second break here and be right back with more.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Celebrate Oktoberfest at Rally Day presented by SeatGeek on Saturday, September 27th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get ready to cheer on your Dallas Cowboys with tours of AT&T Stadium. Plus, enjoy festive games, German-inspired food, beer in a Cowboy Stein, and more. Visit AT&TStadium.com/rallydays for tickets and more information. And I think, Aisha, you're the most excited about Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Tell us again. Why?
Because they have
Hype
so
the
many
people up.
different ciders, and they have so many different beers, and they have so many different, obviously it's seasonal beers, but also too, if you like pumpkin spice and things like that, they have pumpkin flavored beers. It's just a lot of beer. I don't really drink beer no more, but I have experienced it, and it was a good time, so you should go.
Bam.
Boom.
You should
There we
go.
Bam.
We have a Oktoberfest experiment person.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Not sure where we're
It's still
going with
morning. It's fine. All right.
We tired.
Packers got not 1, but 2, and 3, and 4. We ain't gonna count.
What's the song?
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, I do like that song.
It was like multiple.
That was-
They got multiple weapons. All right. Josh Jacobs, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks. Well, he's more so like their blocking receiver. They had him kind of blocking defensive ends last week. I don't know.
They trying to help. 'Cause
Yeah,
they need Tucker.
the offensive line.
Because they need Tucker Craft in the field. You hear me?
Yeah, but no, they have multiple weapons. Who do you feel like has the biggest challenge going up against this Packers offense, Cowboys defense wise?
Them safeties. They got that work cut out for them. And being for real, like, the safeties are really going to have to. This zone defense and trying to keep everything in front of you and all that stuff, their eyes need to be far more disciplined because this team will play action you to death, hit deep passes over the middle of the field. Like you mentioned, Bree, Jordan Love is very efficient when delivering the ball on play action, and I just feel like the explosive plays are what killing Dallas. This is an offense that can generate explosive plays passing down the field, and they seek to. Also, too, the biggest thing, too, I'm telling y'all, Tucker Craft is going to, regardless of if he's dealing with any type of injury, he is going to hurt you over the middle of the field because your linebackers can't cover right now there, and the coach hasn't put a safety out there to do it either because he don't trust what they're doing. Now, Cleveland did play more too high safety than I think the Packers expected, which is a respect thing. They respect the fact that they know you're going to throw the ball over the top. You know what Dallas does?
Stop.
A lot of single high. Cooked. I mean, you got to switch it up. Like, you're going to have to figure out how to switch it up against these guys because they will make you pay. Now, you kind of got some, Jaden Reed, unfortunately, went down, I think week 1 with a torso injury. He's on IR. he is. If they would have had him out there too, how the guy say on Taken? Good luck.
You know what?
That's my favorite line.
He was good luck.
Standing on business.
Like for real. Because it's to Nicole's point. Brian Shaw and I were talked about this offense being multiple. You gonna have to be with CeeDee Lamb out. But that's the fact that they distribute the ball everywhere. To Bree's point, is why they're so hard to defend, because you can't just hone in on one guy. You truly have to play team defense, and the Cowboys defense isn't doing that right now. So how do they pick themselves up and make some adjustments and try to do that this week? It's just so much to ask. But to your question, they also do tight formations. And what they do, they start off in tight formation. So there's 12 personnel. They got their tight ends lined up close to the line, like close to the line of scrimmage. Everything's like in line close. And then they just spread out. Yep. And you got to figure out who to cover. And for a defense that is struggling,
why are you doing that?
I don't know.
For a defense that is struggling,
making me more like, okay, she's for
struggling with assignments and who to cover and to communicate. My God, they create a lot of traffic in that intermediate part of the field. Oh, and
yep.
So I mean, that's
what you got.
There's not one person.
It's gonna be we're praise dancing.
Yeah.
No, oh my God, I used to love. Okay, never mind. That's a whole different story. There's not. I was having trouble, and I brought up the topic about who's their number one because, again, I'm looking at week 1, week 2, week 3, and I know, yes, Reed went out against the Commanders or what have you. He's a big part of their offense, but that's not phasing them. That's the thing. Tucker Kraft is someone I think that stands out just because I feel like he creates a lot of mixed matches. When you're talking about your linebackers specifically, who are we talking about that's struggling? One of the position groups, the linebackers. I think you need somebody like Amaris in that mix. I think this is a great game for him to come in because I just feel like Kraft, Sanborn, I'm not liking what that's looking like. If that's the deal there. But yeah, I mean, pick your poison. To be honest, pick your poison. Josh Jacobs is the run game in my opinion. That's what the stats have shown me. They have some guys they'll mix in, but he's the one getting 15. I think last week he got 23 carries. Like, that's the guy who they're feeding. He's going to be hungry. The Browns just broke his 11 consecutive touchdown streak, right? So I don't know. I feel like he's going to be trying to get to the end zone because that's where he's been living besides last week. So the key there is to be able to stop Josh Jacobs. And to the Cowboys' credit, they have been able to stop the run. So there's that. But again, Jordan Love is going to be coming off this game hungry as well, and I have full confidence that he's going to be able to be the quarterback that he is, to be able to take care of the football against a team who just allowed Caleb Williams to have the best game of his life protecting the football. And they're not bringing pressure. So I know it's like we're saying the same thing, but we're seeing the same thing. So,
and to your point, Bree, that's why. I mean, do you have?
No, go ahead.
And that's to your point, Bree. That's why, like, when you go against a Cleveland team, they're a team that can get pressure with 4. They don't have to blitz like that. They can drop those guys into coverage, and I think that did give Jordan Love some issues last week. You also mentioned Tucker Kraft. One thing Tucker Kraft also does well is yards after catch. Not only is he catching the ball, he's averaging about 10 yards every time he does. So tackling, which is what this Dallas defense has struggled with, angles, and the way
they were stacking the box on him, and Jordan Love didn't look like he knew what to do. Like you mentioned, their front four rating, when they were dropping an extra guy, 2 extra guys, it was over with. But I just don't. How did the Cowboys do that? Because when you drop an extra, now we're taking away from, and you drop 2x. Come on, can you imagine?
It's the luxury of being able to rush with 4, and that's why this Dallas defense has kind of been flipped on its head in a sense, because you can't allocate more resources to the back end like you even could last year when the defense did start seeing a little bit of improvement towards the middle of the year when you got a Micah Parsons back, because you are not getting any type of respect out there. So for me, I don't know. I think Dallas's best bet is going to be to run the ball.
Yeah.
Well, We're going to dive more into this matchup over the next couple of days. We do hear from a couple of more guys in locker room today. Coordinators speak tomorrow, and then we have another chance to hear from Brian Schottenheimer on Friday before the Cowboys get ready to take on the Packers. But it's going to be a fun game to continue to break down, at least.
It is. It's a lot of good stuff.
Lots to talk about.
Scary stuff.
Scary stuff, but good stuff. On that note, it's a wrap for today's show. For Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, Nicole Hutchison will be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!